Wishing you a very happy day. We are from Wonder World Montessori School channel, and today we are going to proceed with social science. In social science, we are going to study the world from 1914 to 1945. Long back, isn't it? So if you like my video, kindly subscribe the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. So let's proceed. The First World War. The First World War was also called the Great War, lasted from 28th July 1914 to 11 November 1916. Many countries were involved in it. It was fought between two blocs, the Allied power and the Central powers. The Allied powers were Britain, France, Russia, Italy, USA, Japan. And the Central power was Germany, Austria, Hungary, Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. So these were the people, those who fought in the war. And the war was fought in the Europe. The fighting took place along the Western Front and along the Eastern Front. Soldiers used to dug into the ground, they hid in them and used to fire them. Machine guns and heavy artillery, as you can see on the screen, were used for this war. And this war ended in November 1918. And we will come to know after the war, the Treaty of Versailles was signed between Germany and the Allied powers. Actually, Germany was being blamed for the war, and after the war people realized that war is really not good, because all the countries had the great loss. The main terms of the treaty were Germany would have to pay a heavy fine. It could not increase its military forces. Some of its territories were to be occupied by the Allied powers. Now, after this, the First World War, as I have already said, that it was between the two groups, the Allied powers and the Central power, and this is the timeline between what happened in which year. The first shows you that how it was fought, who all were involved in it, and the process of war. Now let's come to Second World War. The Second World War was many times more destructive than the first. It started on 1st of September 1939 and lasted 6 years. Like the First World War, this was also fought between two blocs, the Allied powers and the Axis powers. Here the Allied powers had Britain, France, Soviet Union and USA, while as Axis powers had Germany, Italy and Japan. As you might be remembering, in the First World War it was Allied powers. It had Britain, France, Russia, Italy, USA and Japan, and the war was between Allied powers and Central powers. Now in the Second World War, it was between Allied powers and Axis power. And the war, and in Germany, actually what happened, the German was very angry. They began to support Adolf Hitler, the leader of the Nazi party. Hitler promised to restore the glory of Germany. He began to strengthen the military to expand the Germany empire. The rising military might of Germany alarmed the other European powers. Britain and France decided to take a combined stand against Hitler. And by November, Hitler realized that he will not be able to win. So he ultimately suicided. And the war ended. By the beginning of 1945, Hitler knew that he could not win. He committed a suicide in April, and on 7th May 1945, Germany surrendered. Japan, however, continued to fight in the Pacific region. And then we all know that in August, there was in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, bombs were dropped by USA. And on 24th October 1945, the United Nations was formed, and with this, you will study about it in the next lesson. So with this, thank you so much. And now we'll continue with the next lesson in continuation with this. Thank you.